What is up, everyone? We are live here from hot, sunny Colorado. What? I got the Just Do It sign. Just do it, y'all. I am in the bedroom, back in my bedroom today. Just being booted all around the house at this point. Like couch, bedroom, my son's bedroom. It's just, I'm bouncing everywhere.
Tomorrow you'll be in the bathroom or laundry room, I'm assuming.
I'll be in the garage. What's up? So let's say hello to everybody. Wait. First in the chat is Joey Bada Bing. What's up, Joey?
Hey, Joey.
He gets where they at? Oh, why don't I have my buffet points? Uh-oh. Houston, we have a problem.
Uh-oh.
Buffet point. Oh, there they are. Buffet point for Joey. Sorry, guys. I don't have my dual screen. I just can't hang.
Oh, yeah, you're not at the full setup. That's right. My bad.
Frank Jr., what's up, Frankie? Thanks for hanging out. It says he's working. He's going to be listening. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Nikki T, what's up? Rev and Nikki T are both here. What's up, Rev? What's up, Nikki T? Thanks for hanging out with us. Mike Griffin Goomba, what's going on? Thanks for hanging out. Anthony, what's going on, my man? What's up, Anthony? Thanks for hanging out. Tommy, what's going on? Tommy Bernard, what's up? Nate, what's up, Nate? Thanks for hanging out with us. What's up, Frank?
I just said Nate Dizzle, what's up? Who else we got? My sweet pea.
Yeah, I did miss out on the breakfast tacos. I've been meaning to talk to you about that, Samantha Ray Dominguez.
I believe that will be addressed shortly, correct?
Will it be?
Maybe.
Plausibly. The Shamrock Pixie, thanks for hanging out with us. What is going on?
Hey, Shamrock.
Who else we got here? I think that's everybody. I think we said hello to everybody as they drop in. I will be watching the chat. We'll welcome everybody that drops in. Again, this is
Goomba dropped in real quick, Jimmy.
I said hi to Mike.
Did you?
Yeah. What's up, Mike? He's the one with he's the Jets fan. He's the one that bought the Jets flag for me, and his son has it up on his wall. You see that? Turned out awesome.
Jets, Jets.
All right. It just jumped. I got some new people in.
Yes.
All right. We got my brothers here. The professor's here. What's up, Joseph? Thanks for hanging out. I missed bingo last night. I had some things going on. I don't have my basement right now.
I won at bingo.
You won? Hey,
yes. I won a fan. Or I should say Amanda won a fan. I just bingo. So I'll be off.
Yeah. My roommate is currently packing in the basement like every day in the afternoon and evenings. So I was just like, I don't really want to set up my phone and get it going on the phone. So I just didn't make it yesterday, but I will be there next week. Oh, breaking news, Tommy. Breaking news. There may or may not be an update to that microphone.
Can I address something real quick? The over-under was 30 minutes before somebody would notice that.
Damn! Tommy's an expert at this. He noticed right away.
Look at that.
We're faking the funk. What's up, Crystal? Thanks for hanging out. What's going on? I'm checking. The chat is amazing. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I think we are all doing amazing. Just having it's a beautiful day here in Colorado. Just loving life.
Life is good. You know what? We've been blessed because usually with the coronavirus and everything, usually March, April are the snowiest months in Colorado, and we've just had beautiful weather. So
yes,
it has not slowed us down to where we're still stuck in the house. It's been beautiful.
Cody
Tommy 2.0's in the house. I don't know if you're chatting.
I'm just at Cody.
2.0's in the house.
I'm at Cody right now, working my way down. Maggie Doodle, Maggie. For those of us that can't read, it's Maggie. It's Maggie Doodle. It's Maggie Doodle. What's up? It's jumping on me. Like the chat is going crazy. You guys are awesome with this chat.
Yep.
Bringing the love. Tommy 2.0 is here. What's up, Tommy? We are doing great. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Man. I'm trying to watch two different chats here because.
Right? That chat is going faster than Ranch at the Buffet. He is a great analogy. Oh, just jumped on me. I see Amanda dropped in. Frank's wife, thank you for hanging out with us. Amanda. Where are we at? All right. So, breaking news. Oh, hip flipping mama's here.
What's Mama.
Up, KJ Neubauer. I'm the
WWE Walk with Elias, right, KJ? That's your uncle or cousin?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
WWE.
All right. I think I've said hello to everyone. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Let me know. Tell me I missed you, and I will say hi to you because I want to say hi to all these lovely people. Erica just dropped in.
KJ,
Erica,
tell your cousin to send me a 9x11 autographed, and I'll put it on the wall of fame in the back, just if I come up in your discussions one day, I
just love that your cousin hangs out with us all the time. Like how far this, like how what YouTube can do. Like, she wasn't a reseller. She's not a reseller. I know she has thoughts about doing it now, and it's just awesome to see someone like that hanging out with us every day, maybe learning some things and considering reselling. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I think that's what makes what I enjoy about doing this every day, because don't get me wrong, folks, it takes a lot. I mean, this sounds so simple, but it takes a lot to put this on every day.
Y'all have no idea what I've been through.
What's that?
No, go ahead, because I'm going to show them as you're telling that what I did this morning to get on the air today.
So, something as simple as, having a live working microphone now,
But look at this setup, guys.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Ooh, is that a dual desk?
Dual.
I've seen those.
No, I made it dual. See?
That will also hold a Totino's pizza with no problem, folks, just so you know.
That's how we're going. That's how we do. I told you that's how we do.
But no, in all seriousness, folks, I'm, to get up to do this every day and honestly, we're trying to create topics to. Hey, Jimmy's wearing pants today too. I'm not going to say that I am, but no. But in all seriousness, though, I mean, to do this every day and for you guys to take time out of your day to do this, I know there's a lot other things y'all could be doing. So we appreciate every one of you guys.
Yeah, you guys are all awesome. No Money G's here.
No Money G.
I'm gonna do my Anthony impression. G unit.
You know who else we missed through all the stuff was? Yep. See, we're so simpatico because I was just gonna give a shout out to my girl Jennifer. What's up?
We gotta do what, Amanda? We gotta make it.
So the other day, yeah. So the other day we're sitting on the couch. I think we were watching DC Sales show, and I'm eating my breakfast that Amanda makes for me. And I'm like, oh, I gotta hurry up. And she's like, why? I go, because I gotta go to makeup, and then I gotta go to pre-production meetings and this and that. She's like, you're stupid. Cajun reseller, what's up?
What's up, Cajun? That Saints fan, man. He's been asking a lot of questions about their future at quarterback and stuff. That's the topics I love, Cajun. Me and my brother have talked about a sports show. I just don't. I'm the one that stopped those conversations because I'm always so busy. Joseph said, I remember back in the day when there were 4 people in the chat, including, so it was me, Frank, my brother, and Dan.
Yeah. And we, occasionally we'd jump up to 5 or 6, but that was because Frankie and my
we'd be like,
jump in. But it's growing. And it's been fun. It's already been, we've only been doing this, Jimmy, 6 weeks maybe?
I feel like, I honestly don't know. Where's Dan? That's a great question. Joseph, that was a segue you just did.
Right?
Amazing. It's like,
So
he doesn't even know about the segue you did.
we sent Dan to Las Vegas for some
So we didn't tell him that eBay Open was canceled,
yes.
but we still sent him to Vegas for the eBay Open.
Even though it's not usually till the end of July, but we lied to him.
Technicalities, Frank.
Yeah, I mean, minor details, you know.
So Dan is currently in Vegas. Let's go to Dan right now and see what's going on there in Vegas. What's up, Dan? I see you got a tattoo. Questionable tattoo, I would say.
Did you get roofied?
Did you get roofied?
They go with that word roofling again.
You might want to take Tyson his tiger back. We saw what happened last time someone took his tiger.
I see he went to the gift shops. He's got himself a nice little welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas magnet on his desk now.
That's awesome. I appreciate it, Tommy. That's kind words, my friend. That Mike Tyson tat. Yes. He don't waste no time when he's in Vegas. I mean, he's
yeah, he just landed last night. I mean, well, he took a bus. We couldn't afford an airline ticket, so we threw him on the Greyhound.
Look at you guys jinxed each other. Jinx. You guys
right
next to each other.
Someone owes somebody a Coke now.
But Rev said it first, so he won the jinx. Sorry, Nicky T.
Hey, Tommy Bernard. Yeah, I've tried that with my wife, you know. I'm like, I got a solid 164 subs on YouTube. I'm kind of a big deal. And she says, well, big deal. Throw the trash while you're at it. So I don't get that love for the trash yet.
That's true. That he should not be anti-buffet point if he's in Vegas. Although all the buffets are currently closed. So maybe we didn't tell him about that either.
What's that?
We didn't tell him about that when we sent him to Vegas, that all the buffets are closed.
Yeah, and he did not get a per diem either.
So he's just going to have to save up these buffet points for now. Where are my? There they are. Save them up, Dan.
We just wrote per diem on a couple of pieces of Monopoly money. So
you guys like our new thumbnail I put together last night?
Yeah, look at that.
Look for the more crisp, clean look instead of a whole bunch. I got some advice from awesome people that maybe it was a little too much going on there, so made an adjustment. Little crisp, clean look right there.
So Pixie, just so you know, when my wife got sick, I had to teach myself how to run a washing machine that I literally never even touched. My wife used to do all my laundry for me, and I had to have my daughter teach me how to run the washing machine.
Right.
And now I still, even though she's been home from the hospital for 4 months now, I still do my own laundry because I just got so used to it that it's...
Careful, Frank. Thank you, Jennifer. Right? I appreciate you, Jennifer. I don't know if he's staying at Circus. I just hope he didn't end up getting married.
It's definitely off the strip somewhere. Trust me, we couldn't afford anything on the strip.
It's what was that one that we stayed at? The Speedway, NASCAR.
The Ramada or the Speedway. Tell the story. That's hilarious.
That's a whole nother story right there. When my work sent me to Vegas, and I was like, "Hey Frank, I got a room in Vegas. You should drive up here. I'll get the work done fast, and we'll party the next 2 days." Yeah, it was that hotel. When I walked down to the casino floor, and I was like, "Man, this place is popping! Look at all these people." All the people were lined up to cash their payroll checks at that casino. They weren't gambling. There was a huge long line of people cashing their payroll checks. Also, we got the right place though. Frank and Frank are walking to the casino. We're like,
so me and Jimmy's brother-in-law drove to Vegas, right? So we get to the hotel and we drove through the night. So by the time we got there that morning, we were so tired. But we're in Jimmy's room and I opened the windows to see the strip. And way, way off in the distance, you saw this structure that was about that big. And I was like, I think that might be the stratosphere.
Right.
Or it could be a telephone pole. Not sure which, but we were so far off the strip. It was not even funny.
It was a free room in Vegas.
Right? That was, and then we went to the I can't remember the name of that restaurant. We went to go eat breakfast.
Oh my god!
We're like asking the waiter. We're like, so where's a hopping cool place to hang out? And he's like the 65-year-old man, and he's like pondering. He's like, I don't know the hip cool spots. And I'm like, the heck you say? Remember that old man?
Well, because my stupid brother-in-law, he's asking. I mean, not to be, but this guy was like older and like was definitely not the hip crowd. And my brother-in-law was like, where's the place to go? And he's all, bingo. I don't know. Not that bingo's bad before.
But remember, he's like, I don't really know. I'm like, the heck you say?
Frank said, the heck you say? Were you guys up five? I was not up 5:30 by midnight. Not at all. That's one of those rare nights where I don't remember a whole lot. I'm not gonna lie. The guy, now, in my defense, that bartender was making those Mai Tais very, very, very strong. I know Frank remembers.
Yeah, I mean, it was the joys of the free alcohol in Las Vegas casinos. We more than took advantage of that opportunity. So, yeah, that was an epic night.
No, that's a different one, Joseph. It was Chris, not the one that resembles. Yep.
Look at Amanda's comment, right?
But little did she know that we're sitting there like counting our dollars to buy one more drink or whatever, and this little Australian guy comes up. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do a good impression, but he's all, "Hello, mates."
Let me buy you a drink or whatever. And he's like,
because he's like bored out of his mind, and he's like, "Why, hello, mates. What are you guys doing here?" And he's like, "That's a terrible impression. I know. Go ahead, toast me." And he grabs this wad of cash, and he's like, "Mind if I buy you a drink?" And he was just sitting there. He wanted to hang out with some guys and just hang out, and he started buying us drinks, and we were like, like I said, that guy was hooking up to maybe that's maybe that story doesn't sound. Luckily, we weren't part of that.
Was literally after me, you, and Chris drained his wallet of all the money he had. Then he's like, "All right, governor, now you ought to buy us some drinks now." And we're like,
he wasn't British. He was Australian.
It was
yeah.
Just what we do, they're just very pickled. Yes, we had our kidneys.
All right, I'm gonna catch up on the chat. Sorry, guys. I get into those stories. I think we're caught. I think I'm caught up on the chat for the most part. I better lay off that bingo. I love bingo. It's just not what I go to Vegas to do. We play some 3-card poker, ain't that right, Frank?
Yeah,
we met Shane Myers.
Shane Myers,
Ryan Picker playing 3-card poker.
Him and Thrifting Santa and
Wade's Ventures.
Yeah, Wade's Ventures. We were all hitting that 3-card poker. Yep. Fun stuff. So
I wanted to get to the breaking news that Tommy Bernard brought up. That microphone may be more valuable than a buffet point now. Breaking news, folks. Lean into it. Let's hear it.
How you doing, folks? It's working. Look, the little lights even lighting up. Look, they're little light bulbs. It's working. So now, literally, when I dip in, you actually hear me. Like I was telling you last night, though, Jimmy, I feel kind of bummed out that it's working now. Like, right? I like it better when it didn't.
No way, dude. Like, when we do the next on the stage, you can do it. Like,
right. We'll get it all dialed in. Maybe
Now there is something that we found recently that is just as valuable as a buffet point, and that's Frank twerking.
Yes.
Get it, Frank?
With a little Nate Dogg stash going there too. Look at that.
By the way, I was asked to make that by Frank. I am not responsible for it. Or do I? Does this not represent my channel? This does not represent my channel. I'm not responsible for the content.
Hey, look who jumped in.
I missed who? Who jumped in? Uh-oh. It's Larry. LL Ladies Love Stash. What's up, Larry? Thanks for hanging out with us.
Joseph. Woo. He said this light's gonna become annoying. Look at this though, Joe. Look at this, watch.
He's a
Bam!
person.
Fix. Boom.
No more light.
Light is gone.
Some people they like your they're liking your twerking picture. All right, I can't wait for buffets.
Anybody that's
surprising.
Right? I need to give me some Chinese buffet, even though they gave us the Rona. I still like their buffets.
Oh, that's funny. So there was, thanks to my colleague, my co-host here, there was a topic that was brought up about I may or may have not fallen through a ceiling at some point in my life. It's all hearsay at this point, but let me know if you guys want to hear where I may have plausibly fell. I just like saying plausibly, even though it doesn't make sense right there. I may have plausibly fell through a ceiling. If you guys want to hear that story, let me know. If not, we can just avoid that story. We can just move on to the next subject. I'm fine with that.
No.
We can talk about Vegas some more. You guys want to talk about Vegas some more? Dan's there. Dan, what's it like in Vegas right now? We could talk about ranch. We could do draw a selfie.
Look at
We could be judged right now.
Look at No Money G's comment, Jimmy.
I'm catching up. Zero.
This is honest to God's truth, folks. Hey, Cody Fontaine's in the house.
Right? Cody's been hanging with us for a while.
Was she? She
ran. It's raining, Jimmy.
Hallelujah. It's so
all
this
right,
question got brought up during the E-Com and Beyond show this morning. I don't know how. Oh, because the guy's doing construction at Anthony's house, and it may have been Justin Grimes Fine said, dude, it will be hilarious if you see a construction worker fall through your roof or something to that effect. And I happened to I threw a certain somebody under the bus and said, I know a guy, Uncle B, that fell through a ceiling one time.
Now,
and so, Jimmy, the floor is yours.
Now.
No pun intended, because you fell through it.
The floor was mine. Now, I will say I was much more stealthy back then. I was stealth, so I wasn't pushing 5 bills back then. I'm still not pushing 5 bills. I'm pushing 5 bills. That's messed up. It's Sonny here. What's up, Sonny? Thanks for hanging out. Just in time to hear this may or may not be a true story. So, my mom decided when I was 16 years old that you need to get a job, boy. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? And she's like, well, your cousin owns a construction or works for, he's part owner of a construction company / cleaning company. So just go work with him. Okay. So I'm like, let's go. And I worked. So here's an example of the kind of people I worked with, because this story is going to be this is going to be a Frank story. It's going to be a little bit longer. Like the third day I was working there, because I didn't have a car. I was just riding with one of the people I worked with. We got pulled over. Let's just say we got pulled over, and that part of the story ends with them being taken off in handcuffs, and me getting a ride with a police officer off of the highway to the next exit, and the police officer just dropped me off at that corner and said, "Have a good day." So my coworkers went to jail. Their truck was left on the side of the highway, and I was dropped off on the corner. Like, that's my third day at work, y'all. I was dropped off on the corner. I had to go. Back then they had payphones. I had to go find a payphone to call my mom. And my mom, they just left me here. The cops just dropped me off on the corner. So the cops, what's happening? I was like, so that was my third day at work. Then that same guy, after he got released, like probably a couple weeks into that job, we are cleaning out a sandwich shop that caught on fire. And so we had to clean out the walk-in freezer. We're getting there, Cody, but you have to hear the kind of people I worked with, all right? So this guy that was recently released by the police was working again, and we're cleaning out this walk-in freezer, and he goes, "Oh, look, it's ammonia." And he pulls the top off, and he goes and takes a sniff of it, and all in one motion he goes, and he just hits the floor. Like, all in one motion. So these are the kind of people. This is where my mom sent me to work. This was in Mesa, Arizona / Tempe, Arizona. So this is the kind of people my mom sent me to daily to work with. So I'm like, something's gonna eventually happen to me, right? So these are true stories. Joseph knows. My brother knows. So here I am. We're working construction again, and they decide to put me in Arizona, where it's hot as heck, in an attic, and I'm cleaning out insulation in an attic. All right. And I'm up in the attic cleaning out insulation. I got a broom and a bag. Like, that's what I had. I'm sweeping insulation, and it's fiberglass, y'all. It's a miserable time. It's hot. I'm covered in fiberglass, just miserable, right? So, and I'm in an attic, so I'm having to walk on 2x4s. You can't walk on the sheetrock. So I'm balancing on 2x4s the whole time. So I'm balancing on this 2x4, and the infamous last step I took was my foot. I stepped down and I felt a puncture in my foot. And of course, I'm balancing, so all my weight went to that foot, and I had stepped on a nail that was sticking out of the 2x4. So I'm standing in the attic, balancing myself with a nail in my foot. I got a bag full of fiberglass in one hand, and I got a broom in the other hand, and I'm just like balancing in this attic, trying to get this nail out of my foot. And needless to say, I lost my balance. And I went right through the ceiling. And here's the best part, because the owners were there at the house. The owners of the house were there, and they were talking to the owner of the construction company in the kitchen. And they're standing around the island talking. And here I go falling through the ceiling. I hit the counter. Boom! I hit the counter. And then I rolled off where the oven used to be, because there was no oven in the oven slot. Hit the counter, rolled, and landed where the oven used to be. And I'm like, oh. And I got a hole in my foot. And then, as you guys can imagine, so the nail was in my foot. Well, when I fell, it went like that out of my foot. So I sliced my foot wide open. Oh, my gosh. And so there was this huge sunroof above me. And I'm just laying in this oven area where the oven goes, just like. So yeah, that's how I made a hole in the ceiling. And then I'm like, they were like, "So you're gonna work again today?" I was like, "I'm never working for you again. What are you talking about?" I was like, I sat out on the curb, just sat there, and I think finally, like, my cousin called my mom and said, "You might want to come and get Jimmy. I don't think he's gonna work the rest of the day." Yeah, that's my story.
I was waiting for you to say, I sat there on the curb and waited for a cop to come pick me up and take me.
I sat on that curb defeated, guys. Like, I was just sitting there, just like, I got a hole in my foot. My shoulder hurts from when I landed on the counter. Like I was just, yeah, I was a quitter at that point already. Like I was done.
I agree with Rev. Dude, to have a camera, that
Yeah.
that's been viral on YouTube.
Imagine being that owner of that house. Like you're standing in your kitchen and some 16-year-old kid falls through your ceiling,
So,
lands on your counter, then falls into your oven cavity where your oven used to be, and is just laying there like.
so picture this scenario. The owner of your company is arguing with the owners of the house because the owners of the house are like, we're upset. Our construction is not getting done fast enough. And the owner of the company says, what do you think? Employees are falling out of the sky? And you come crashing through the ceiling. That would have been classic.
Yep. Cody, that's fun. Yeah, that should have been my first clue, but I was just like, okay, Mom, I'll go to work, Mom. You're right.
So I got a really quick similar story. So after my wife had our first child and I had a job, I was a manager of a Domino's Pizza and I'd quit there. And so I was in between jobs and I was getting some slack from Amanda because I hadn't worked in a few days, maybe a week or two. But so my mom had told me, because my mom had always been in the printing business. So she tells me about a friend of hers that owns a printing company. She says, son, he's hiring. Go check him out. So I go to this place, this business, interview with the guy, and he goes, well, when can you start working? Now, I want to show him I'm ambitious, I'm hungry, I want to work, blah, blah, blah. And I go, man, I'd start right now if you'd let me. I could start on Monday. He's like, cool, come on, let's go to work. And he made me start working immediately on the spot. And I spent the next 2 days of literally pure hell. It was the worst human being I ever worked for in my life. So on the last day, because I lasted 2 days, I quit.
The last day, the second day.
Yeah, the second day, which preceded the first day.
You said that like there was some
This huge block, right? The first day and then the last day were concurrent to each other. There was no day in between.
So you crashed through a ceiling for. Go ahead. The chat's got me laughing.
So I quit my job, right? And so then I kind of did like you see in the movies where I didn't want to go home because I didn't want to face Amanda to tell her I'd already quit my job. And she happened to be at my mom and dad's house. So I literally was like gone for like 4 hours. Like I think I was like literally circling the block trying to build up enough marbles to walk into the house to tell them all I quit my job. And so I finally get up enough energy and marbles to go in and tell them. And yeah, so then my ex-brother-in-law,
killing me.
I could start today if I want to.
Wait, I just jumped on me because Cajun said something funny earlier.
Yeah,
he was in it for the long.
I started on the ground floor and never, unlike Jimmy, I didn't fall through the floor.
Everybody in the chat's got me rolling, man.
Right.
Right.
So look at my brother's comment.
On the train wreck. Sorry. What's up, Flipping Particles?
What's up? So here's the even funnier part of the story. So my ex-brother-in-law was planning to go work for this guy. So because he was in printing industry.
Just be careful with this part of the story.
So my brother-in-law goes to work for this guy. And so he is going to show me how I just wasn't cut out for the printing industry and I don't know how to work hard, yada, yada, yada. So he makes it a point to come to me and Amanda were living.
I got to go through the window. I'll be right back.
And he says, I asked him, I was like, hey, Bootsy, how was the job? And he's like, oh, man, it's the best job I ever had. That guy's cool, blah, blah, blah. You just don't know how to understand how the print industry works, blah, blah, blah. This is on a Monday, right? Fast forward a couple days later to like Wednesday, and I asked him again, Bootsy, How was the work? Man, see, I told you, man, you just don't get it, man. You just got to know how to work, blah, 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 blah. And he's talking all this crap to me, right? So then Friday, he shows back up again. And I'm like, how's work going, Bootsy? Man, I knocked that effer out, blah, blah, blah. He think he's going to talk to me like that? I'm not. And so it was so hilarious. My brother-in-law actually landed literally punching the guy and knocking him out because he was that big and bleep hole.
Your 2-day retirement party watch.
I did get paid that day, though. He gave me a written check that day, the day I quit for the 12 hours I worked or whatever. So I was like, $7 an hour, 12 hours. Mm-hmm. Baby, we going to country buffet tonight, baby.
Oh, shit. That's so funny. Yeah, Tommy, I'm a train wreck ever since I fell through that ceiling. I didn't even realize like I am accident prone. Nobody told me. How come you guys didn't tell me that I'm accident prone?
Goomba said I got a sundial.
Huh?
Goomba said I got a sundial watch for my
sundial. Oh my gosh, that had me laughing when in Nate and Anthony's show when they were talking about putting the tea bags in the shoe. All my shoes smell like sun tea. Yeah, make sure you guys go sub to Frank's channel. Obviously, we switch back and forth between channels. We will have Kat, the nurse flipper, on his channel tomorrow, so that's gonna be a great show.
Hey, look at Cody's comments.
I'm catching this one right here.
Yeah, these two guys, you definitely do not want to start your empire with these two because we're falling through roofs or ceilings. We're quitting the day after we start. Oh, we did.
We went to Dollar Scoop after you got paid.
Now we ain't good for about $6.
Big spender.
Right? I know how to treat the
Hey, we spend money. Look, we sent Dan to Vegas. We will.
Yeah,
if you work for us, you can take your whole cubicle with you to Vegas. Or Frank will teach you how to twerk.
That Nate beard, though. Look at that.
I just want to say again, I am not responsible for the content in this show. It was requested by a certain someone.
So if anybody is on Facebook, it has been well documented my love for the movie Bring It On.
Yep.
So Jimmy's wife tagged me in a video of a dad that did on TikTok the dance routine from Bring It On. So I had Jimmy do some work on that for.
Dude. Oh shoot! We went. I'm catching up.
Nikki's comment.
I know a guy. It's gonna be shaped like this. That sunroof that those people had was me like this.
What about speaking of nails, wasn't it you, Jimmy, when a certain mutual friend of ours, we were removing some hardwood flooring, and didn't you go to kneel down on the ground and take a nail to your knee?
Yeah, I did, because we were taking some hardwood flooring out, and I kneeled down, and there was a nail sticking up through the floor. I punctured my knee.
I think I weeped for about 2 days after that.
Yeah, it was like when it was like on a Home Alone when that guy steps on the nail and it all goes through his foot slow. That happened to my knee. When did I get knocked out by a motorcycle?
When we were working on my hog that Bill gave me. I think we were changing the oil and you went to get up and palo.
Yeah, I guess I do have a bit of a accident prone.
So I gotta touch base on something else from Nate and Anthony's show this morning. So we got into the conversation about Anthony's mom whooping some tail with the wooden spoons. So I have a story about that. I was about 15. I was really pissing my mom off.
Nikki T's on fire.
So my mom, for some reason, I was being Frank, honestly, just being the normal pain in the tail that I am. And I was pissing my mom off, and my mom happened to be making dinner. Now, my mom is a tiny little 5 foot tall Mexican woman,
But you don't want to mess with her.
and she's standing at the stove cooking dinner. And I start talking trash to her behind her
No,
back.
not Frank.
Because I think I think it was this dude's fault because I wanted to go to his house, but she wouldn't take me. And so I'm like, and she kept saying, Frank, shut up. I'm not in the mood. Frank, I'm going to knock the bleep out of you if you don't shut up. Blah, blah, blah. And of course, now that I know that I've pissed her off, I do the natural thing any 14, 15-year-old boy is going to do. I kept pissing her off even more. So in the blink of an eye, without even skipping a beat, my mom goes, whoosh, without even looking, nails me across the face with the spoon that she was cooking dinner with, and went back into the pot to stir what she was cooking. It literally went from cooking to this.
What's this?
Why'd you hit me, Mom? Because she smacked the hell out of me. And didn't skip a beat and just went, boom, started cooking again. I'm like, that's when I learned you don't mess with my mama like that because she'll knock your tail out.
I mean, all moms don't do. I witnessed his sister that time because Frank, as Amanda said, y'all don't know this. So I witnessed his sister one time. He was again talking trash, not Frank, to his sister. This is when we were like 14, right? And he's talking trash to his older sister. Hey, look at! I just happen to have the perfect example of what happened. The perfect prop to show you what happened to Frank. Because Frank's over there running his mouth to his sister. Next thing I know, she picks up a plate off the table, whoa, throws that plate, and it just goes, here, Frank, off your head. He goes, bah, Frank's head. Oh, shoot. I've been witness to.
So if you guys want to know where this trauma comes from, my dad and my brother would be like, Frank, I used to have a friend named Paul before I met Jimmy. You should go to Paul's house and see what he's doing. So I'd be like, okay. So I'd run across, go to Paul's house. I'd come home, and my dad and brother would be gone. And my mom would be on the couch, whatever, watching TV, whatever. Mom, where's brother and dad? Oh, they went to wrestling, son. Well, I wanted to go. Yeah, they thought you were having too much fun at Paul, so they didn't want to bother you. And then a month later, they would do it all over again to me. I never figured it out till I was much older. It was a week ago when I figured out that they were doing that.
It was Connie. It was Connie that threw the plate at him. I'm telling you, he deserved it, y'all. I know he was just.
Yeah, Joseph, you ever wonder why I was always at your house? Because my family was constantly getting rid of me. They didn't like me.
They're like, I'm surprised your mom didn't want to take you to my house that day. Since she
Right?
with the spoon.
I honestly think it's because I wanted her to take me at that moment when she's in the middle of cooking dinner.
Right.
So
Right when I'm done.
Frank, I said when I'm done, but I want to go now. Jamie and Joseph were going to go jump on the trampoline at the Mormon people's house, or what were they? Were the neighbors that live behind your apartments?
Yeah, they had a trampoline. Yep.
Yeah.
And they would let us come over to their house and jump on the trampoline all the time. I don't know if we had permission, but we still went over.
Hey, the most impressive part of that, though, Jimmy, remember we used to actually have to scale a wall to get over to there, and we were able to do that at one time.
They were probably like, "Uh-oh, the fat kids are on our trampoline again. We're gonna have to." That trampoline isn't gonna last but a couple weeks.
Okay, I know we're probably boring you guys, but I do have to tell you this last story, and I'll be done telling my stories.
Yeah, go ahead and start dropping questions or topics other than ourselves in the chat, and we'll get to those when Frank's done.
Everybody go to camp when you're in 6th grade, right? Everybody went to 6th grade camp, outdoor lab, whatever they call it now, outdoor ed. So my family sends me to camp. We return like 4 days later on our buses, and all the kids, the mom and dads are there hugging their kids because they missed them, and I'm standing there with my suitcase. No mom or dad to pick me up. The buses leave. The teachers' cars are pulling out of the parking lot. The principal's car's gone. The janitor's leaving, and I'm still standing there with my suitcase. I'm a poor Mexican kid, so I ain't got the one with the fancy wheels and the handle. I got that avocado green 1970s suitcase. That we got back then. We probably went to a thrift store to buy it. It's probably vintage now. I could sell it for
right. You didn't realize back then that you were
right. So I went to where Whitman Elementary School was at, Jimmy, off of McKellips and Country Club.
Right.
And I lived by right across from the Mesa Lutheran Hospital. I walked carrying a suitcase, probably a good solid 3 miles, carrying a suitcase. Walk into my house, and my mom and dad and my family is sitting at the dinner table eating dinner, and they look at me like, "Oh, snap, we forgot about you." Now, the worst part of the story is there was a little kid sitting in my seat at the dinner table. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What's this going on? Well, this kid ran away from home, and my mom and dad decided to bring him into our house. You don't call the cops or anything. You take him in as your kid. But this kid was hungry, so my mom and dad were feeding him before they called the cops. And so I walk in on my family who replaced me.
Replaced He's like, he was pissed because he just had to walk 3 miles in Arizona.
Right. Now tell me, Jimmy, would this not make it worse? Remember Pollo Asada? Used to be on the corner?
Yes.
They were eating that for dinner that night, and that little brat was eating my portion of the Pollo Asada. Still a little salty about that, okay?
He doesn't talk back, so we thought we would keep him.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Okay, story time's over.
Story time is over.
Well, let's talk about reselling because I'm depressed now. I'm just going to drink my cherry Pepsi.
That story at his spot at the dinner table. So, yeah, with that, if you guys have any questions or any topics you guys want to talk about, or if you guys want us to try to come up with another one of our great stories that we have.
Or if anybody knows a good psychiatrist, I've got some things going on that I need to talk about.
Right. I don't have as fun as stories as Frankie. Frank's got the funny stories. My stories are, oh, you hit a tree with a 4-wheeler. That's nice. That's not fun, Jimmy. Oh, more stories. They're calling for more stories.
Oh man,
I gotta think. Oh my gosh, that one, they just get me laughing so much that I can't think of words.
Yeah, I've lived a traumatized life. Hey, one time my parents' car got repossessed in front of me and all my friends, and I had to tell my friends that it was my uncle borrowing our car.
It was my uncle.
They're like, really? Your uncle's a tall white man? Oh, you're dead. Because your other uncles and your dad are all like 5'5" Mexicans. Agent, any good golf stories? I hit a windmill one time. I've tried golfing a couple times.
Not only that, I'm terrible at golf. It's not golf. Golf is not for round people. Well, I know a couple good round golfers, but I'm not good. It's hard to rotate this girth. They say you gotta turn at the hips. I'm like, my hips don't turn. They don't lie and they don't turn.
Yes, remember that, Jimmy, when I bought that big Bertha or whatever, that Bumblebee driver, whatever it was?
Right. I was like, let me try it out first. Frank was so proud of his new driver that he just bought. We took it to we literally went to the driving range to test out that new driver.
The head on that driver was about this big, folks. The thing was huge.
I was like, let me give that thing a try. First, I was the first one to swing it.
Jimmy swung, hit that ball, and that club went.
That head went flying. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
That was so funny. I felt so bad. Frank was so proud of that driver. Oh my gosh, I'm dying.
Hey, Rev hit a car with a golf ball once. You know what Rev never hit once while golfing? The other side of the creek.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I gotta catch up. I really want some. We are just fun people, Larry. We're just fun.
Hey,
we don't. I honestly don't. I had a Pepsi. Does that count? I had a Pepsi and a leftover burrito from last night.
My mom should have known how bad of a kid I was going to be when I was 5 years old. I jumped out of a moving car. Remember, my aunt had like a 1976 Plymouth Fury, big old land yacht. My mom and aunt are in the front seats of the car. Me and my sister, my cousins are in the back seat. And for whatever reason, I decided to swing the door open and
I got a good story, Frank. Remember when we were total, I mean, not that we've changed, but remember when we were little dorks instead of big dorks, total nerds? And we used to dress head to toe in black. And like we used to try to like we would try to sneak. So the high school was just down the street. So we would try to sneak to the high school and hope that nobody would see us the whole way there. Because here's two big fat kids dressed in black. Like, you're not gonna see us,
right? Because we're hiding behind telephone poles because we're easy to. Look at Goomba's comment, Jimmy.
Telephone was a defect. What I miss?
They should have known I was bad. They tried to replace me with a runaway kid.
Oh, I didn't miss it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny, man.
Oh man.
When we dressed up as ninjas, and like, so there was in my apartment complex, there were bushes all that like outlined the whole apartment. So we would literally like hide in the bushes and then run and jump over a bush and hide in that bush. And so we were like dressing all black, and we had tried it like 3 nights in a row, right? Like, I don't know why we thought that was fun. I'll never forget the time, because it was me that ran and jumped, right? I ran and went in to jump into it, the next bush like we had done, and this lady was hiding in the bush to scare me. I jumped in that bush and go, "Blah!" Scared the shit out of me. Like, how did we think that was fun, man?
What about you were with me that time when me and Mike stole his mom's Jeep.
Oh my god!
Went joyriding with a couple honeys, hey-o. But we pulled back into the parking lot, and Mike's mom is sitting on the green utility box in front of her Jeep as normally parked. And I just remember Mike turning to me and goes, "Dude, we're in so much trouble." And I was like, "No, you're in so much trouble. I'm out of here.
You can drop us off at the curb."
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. What's up, Joey Bada Bing? Joey Bada Bing is here.
Joseph said, jumped over a bush. Uh-huh. You know what I was thinking too, Jimmy? Remember that time we were out at that Halloween party? We may have had a little bit too much to drink, and Jimmy decided he was going to relive our youth and go jump on the trampoline.
No, I was not going to jump on the trampoline. Go ahead.
I'm not sure what your plan was, but he takes off running.
Hold on, let me tell you what my plan was. You guys anybody that's watched wrestling, you know when a wrestler runs to the ring and dives in and slides across the ring? That's what
You're gonna be
happened
like
in
Jeff
here.
Hardy, right? You're gonna be like, I think it was Jeff Hardy or somebody.
Yes. That's what happened inside my head. Inside my head, I ran to that trampoline like a wrestler and I dove out and slid across the trampoline. That's just so y'all know, that's what happened in here.
So this is Jimmy taking flight. He hits the trampoline. This is Jimmy's head. This is Jimmy's feet. Jimmy hits the trampoline, just so we're clear, the trampoline. He stops on a dime and kicks his own head. He's scorpion yourself.
Human scorpion, y'all. I did
Oh
not I did not slide at all.
And booted himself in the head, and of course we all laughed, and it was a good time.
I didn't laugh. I think I burst my pancreas or something.
Might have broke a rib or two, maybe.
Run and burn, that's right. Oh shoot. Yeah.
Oh
we
man,
don't have any good stories though. We got to bring some people on to tell their stories.
right?
Like we need to get more like what Rev did when he I did stick the landing. We didn't. Did we hear my soul exit my body like when you did the?
When I did
Oh my gosh! I was wearing a Halloween costume. It was a Halloween party. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, all right, Joey. It's in the. As you can see, I'm not in my basement right now, but I can run down there because I did receive something from Joey. Bada bing. I'll be right back.
BRB.
I am going to take on my worst enemy stairs, so when I get back, I might be a little huffy, but I'll be back.
He may or may not run. We're not quite sure. Depending on the level of panting involved, will determine if he ran or walked. So, Jimmy left me. I'm all by myself now. This is. See, Joe. See, you're on my level. Run down there. So, oh man, what else is going on? What's going on in the chat, folks? You guys want to talk about anything, or should we just keep running with this train wreck we're on right now? Just having a good time, you know. Joey, bada bing, buddy. I've been great. Life is good. My wife's angiogram came out good. Her aneurysms are still being treated with the coils and the stents that they put in her brain. So everything is going awesome. Life couldn't be better. Trust me. And I get to hang out with all you guys. So it really cannot get much better than this, to be honest with you guys. And that's not just me blowing a bunch of smoke up your tailpipes. That's legitimate. I love doing this every day. I love hanging out with you guys. So yeah, we plan on talking with Anthony about hopefully maybe in the next week or two. Amanda and I will go on Flipping Hope, and I'd like to explain and tell our story with everything that went on with Amanda. I've touched on it briefly on the show, but there is a lot more involved in it, and I'd like for everybody to hear that. So we're working on that, guys. So Larry said I can hear Jimmy out of breath.
No, Joey, you can't unmute it.
Joey, I got the mic hooked up too, brother. It's not just a prop anymore. It's actually working. Joseph, I don't know if you were on the show last week. I actually sold a key for a coffin last week. Unbeknownst to me, I guess when a coffin is sealed when they're going to bury the person, all coffins, I don't know, have an option to actually lock the lid. I'm assuming that's to prevent grave robbing and stuff. But yeah, that's the most interesting thing I've sold lately. Hey, also too, here's a cheap prop for Nate and Anthony's auctions. I bought some Wii controller chargers off of the auction a couple weeks ago. The first night I listed them, I sold 2 of them. So there's always good stuff in those auctions to flip and make some money off of. So check out those auctions. They're definitely worth being a way to source.
Hey Joey, did you pick up some Tiger Woods golf shoes the other day too? Those if you guys don't know about Tiger Woods golf shoes, Bolo, they got the TW logo on it. Those are worth some money. I think I saw Joey pick some of those up the other day. Sorry, I'm catching up on the chat, Frank. I apologize.
Thank goodness the stairs don't have a vendetta like Celine's motorcycles and
I'm not gonna lie, Caden, I may have stopped and grabbed a Pepsi, and I may or may not have had some kind of. We have some leftover Starburst jelly beans that I may or may not have had some.
Did you have the boys like in certain stages of the stairs throwing water at you to?
Oh, that's what you could not, Larry. I pushed mute. Now you can hear me because I'm still all huffy. Joey Bada Bing's like, I just got done walking miles delivering mail. You can't even walk up and down the stairs. Come on, man. All right, so Joey Bada Bing, who was on our show, you guys have not seen when we have a guest on, we have our segment called Draw a Selfie. Thank you, Dan, for coming up with that name, Draw a Selfie. Dan, I want to thank you from Vegas for coming up with that. So, Joey Bada Bing was on our show the other day, and he drew this wonderful self-portrait of himself. And he was so very kind enough to send it to me, and I just got it in the mail yesterday. Joey Bada Bing looking as good as ever in that picture. Some people said it looked like a head on a pair of toothpicks. The hair is looking quite dapper.
That fade, though.
That fade, right? I'm concerned about the size of your ears, though. I don't know that that's how big ears are.
They definitely will not hold a M95 mask.
So this was actually Joey's idea to send this to me. And so and I know you have one on the way to you as well, Frank?
I do not.
Sonny, if you're in the chat, I know Frank wanted to was it Sonny was on your show?
Yes.
Yeah, Sonny drew one on your show, right?
Yeah.
We want to start like a little wall of this, like maybe at one of our houses, start like a little, like just a little wall of these portraits. I know Erin is sending me hers. And as guests come on our show, we're going to be saving those and just starting like a little, what would you call that? What's the name of that? A little collage? I don't know.
Mosaic.
I don't know collage words.
Kind of mosaic kind of deal. Hey, Joe, another thing you were asking, we sold a typewriter that had Korean letters on it instead of English letters on it. And I think I got close to $200 for that typewriter. It was an older one from the 70s. Worth some money. So that's a bolo, folks.
Let me see if I've sold anything unusual recently.
You know, it'd be kind of cool, Jimmy. Here's an idea. Once we start getting all these self-portraits sent into us, maybe we could do our background maybe we could do a background for our
That's
show.
A good idea. Yep.
All the different little pictures all over it.
I thought we were thinking the same thing and we were going to get tattoos, but I'm down with that too.
We're both going to get a Joey Bada Bing tattoo.
Joey Bada Bing self-portrait tattoo.
I'll be like, hey, Joey, bam, got you right here. Or on my heart.
Your ears have probably been ringing, Joey. We were talking about you the other night in some of your cooking videos and some of your voice impressions. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. So let me see if I've sold anything interesting. I mean, I mainly sell toys. I sold Barney.
That whatchamacallit?
The whatchamacallit?
Nailed that whatever. I don't want to say it's a cosplay doll. What do you call that?
Anime toy?
Yeah, that thing was fire, dude.
Yeah, like I can't express that story. That's not a funny story, but it's a story. When I went to that thrift store and I had already shopped the whole store and I had like 3 things in my cart and I was like, okay, this was kind of a bust trip to the thrift store. Like it wasn't a great trip. And I get to the checkout counter and at this thrift store, they have shelves behind the counter. And I literally walk around the corner to go check out and it was like, the entire shelf was covered with those anime toys. And Frank knows we got a buddy over there that works at that thrift store. And I was like, what's his name?
Ted?
Huh?
Ted?
Ted. I want to say, I was like, hey, Ted. I was like, how much are those anime toys or those anime figures? And he pulls one over there. He's $24 each, basically, is what they were running. And I was like, will you give me a deal if I buy all of them? And he's like, if you buy every single one of them, I'll do half price. So I paid $12 per toy. And these toys were new in the package, like they were brand new. So I bought all of them. I spent almost $200 on all of them. Where's that at? And I just recently sold one of them right here. So I don't know a lot. It was in my last video. Ring Hyper Dimension Neptune Heart PVC figurine.
Boom.
12 into 100. And I still have quite a few of these toys on the shelf. And most of them have sold for over $100 each. So everybody asks, what's your best flip? That's been my best all around total flip. Like those toys have all sold for over $100 each. I still probably have like 5 of them left, still all priced at around the $100 range. Yeah, that's been an amazing. So it's not a crazy weird thing, but it's just that the amount that flip was for, man.
Hey, you know what I've been selling pretty good on, Jimmy, this past couple weeks?
All right, I'm catching up on the chat while you do this story, sorry.
Are those baby washcloths that we got from the Ark? Have you been selling any of the ones you picked up?
I haven't, but someone messaged me about them last night. I wonder if I should put them as single listings.
So did they ask you something kind of peculiar or strange?
They just asked me. No, they asked me how many do I have total, and I told them I had 11 of them total.
Might be the same lady that was talking to me then, because I got a message from that person as well saying, how many of these do you have? And then she followed up with, are these, I need to know if these smell like lavender or what does she say? She wanted to know if they either smelled like lavender or some other smell. Chamomile. And she said, again, so people understand when people always ask, why does somebody buy vintage diapers or vintage stuff like that? This is literally her question to me. Do they smell like lavender or chamomile? I'm asking because my son is now 15, and when he first came out, he was a newborn, which they usually are when they first come out, they're newborns. But anyways, I'm having another baby now, and I want to make sure he smells just like my son did 15 years ago.
What?
So this lady...
No, I didn't get that weird question.
Yeah.
Well, you got to call me out on that, Mike. Okay? I have a little bit of... Sometimes my memory isn't the best. He's not per se a friend. He's just a guy that works at the thrift store that is really, really nice to us. And
you got to understand, we're getting kind of old, and the memory's not working so well.
Remember, I'm just like, I don't know. I just can't remember.
Hold on, BRB. Look, I'm not wearing pants or camouflage.
I know it sounds bad. I know it sounds bad that I don't remember his name. But he's like always giving me 50. Like if I buy in bundle, he'll give me 50% off most of the time. 50% off 80% of the time.
I probably sold probably sold about 10 of these in the last week.
What? All right, I'm gonna have to do mine in singles.
Yeah,
and I'm not a very
have a few left.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for making me feel like dirt. I don't remember Ted's name. It's probably because he doesn't look like a Ted. Let's just be honest, Frank. He doesn't look like a little stuffed teddy bear runner.
So the other cool thing I found out, and I was telling Jimmy right before the Rona shut everything down, the same thrift store, the girl that is the manager of that thrift store was actually one of my employees when I was a manager at Domino's Pizza. So,
dang, Cajun, are you keeping them? Are you selling them? Yeah. At least I haven't known that guy for 30 years and then said, "Hey, Jim."
I still don't know. In my defense, I was nervous. I'd never done a YouTube video in my life. And this dude that I've known for 30 years as Jimmy, I was like, and I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Jim for helping me out with. I'm like, after I said that, I was like,
I haven't met Jim.
I remember back, Sammy and Amanda were in the room when I was filming it, and they both looked at each other and they were like, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
It was like, if you watch that video, it's even the way he's all Jim, like
Jim, a thing. I was trying to figure out the rest of your name. It was Jim Jim Matthew, Jim Bada Bing. I don't remember his name.
Oh shoot! Oh man!
I'm coming around.
All right, Nate. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. I know you're busy all the time, 24/7. Every day you are hustling. Thanks for hanging out with us, Nate. I appreciate it, man.
Damn, he sold. Did you sell all 6 of the Groots so far, Cajun, or just a couple? Or
yeah, Cajun. I love toys. I know a lot of other resellers like Chris, Old School Picker. Like, I would love to see that video, man. Break it down. I should do a video on those anime figures and just kind of how well I did on that. Yeah. Nate is the man, Joey. He's awesome, dude. Very, very awesome guy. Him and Anthony both, and Hip Flip and Mama, like, they're some awesome people. The love that they show to us is amazing. Huge. Joey Bada Bing is an awesome guy himself. That guy brings that energy.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've been just watching his show. Like, you know how some athletes watch like pump up music? They put on the headphones and they get going before. Not like that was a good impression, but I'll watch some Bada Bing just before I'm about to go on the air or before I'm about to record one of my videos. And actually, I'm telling you guys, for you guys that do pre-recorded and stuff, this is a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a advice. Watch Joey Bada Bing's videos before you start recording. I'm telling you, you start to see that energy, you start to feel it, it kind of rubs off on you and you're like, okay, I get it. I see what he's doing. I can, if he can bring that kind of energy that I'll never bring, I can meet somewhere in the middle and add a little bit of energy to my show. I'm just saying. Let you know what you want to do.
Jimmy, I will agree with that 110% because, to be honest with you, we've talked countless times off camera. I hate doing the content videos because I started doing them and I did probably, I don't know what, maybe a half dozen of them. But you can see in my videos, I'm very monotone, real.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, Joey, I'm like I said, get some hype music on, whatever it is to get your energy up because,
Mike is letting me have it, man. Come on. I mean, that's great. I love it. He's like, buddy can be a guest. He's talking about my buddy at the thrift store.
No, buddy.
I just call everybody. I'm like one of those old people that call everybody buddy. Hey, buddy.
Hey there, buddy.
I used to work with a guy. He was an older guy, and he called everybody buddy. Like, hey, buddy. He didn't know, and he was the manager. He didn't know anybody's name. Everybody was buddy except for the ladies that were.
I think Becca's ex-boyfriend, my daughter Becca, my daughter Becca, Jimmy, but everybody else, my daughter Becca, her ex-boyfriend, I don't think he ever knew my name because he was like, sure, boss, anything, boss, whatever, boss, you got a boss. I was always boss.
Letting me have it too, man. I'm getting it. Pete said I do get winded watching him. All right, he's got a lot in there. Hey, I want to answer this question though. Always look them up, Joey. If you have obviously you have a smartphone. I don't know if you have Apple or not, but if you have Android, you can use I'm telling you, use the Google app, not the Chrome app, the Google app, and you can do a reverse image search on those minifigures and try to find out who it is, the name of it, and look it up. So look them up individually first. If any of them are very valuable, sell it individually. And then the ones that are common ones, like the ones that aren't worth as much, you can still lot those up and you can go for like $3 a piece. So if you have 10 of them, list that listing for like $30. That's how I do Lego minifigures. It's so whenever you get into toys, guys, sorry, I'm going on a little bit of a rant, but I'm just trying to help out. Like when you get into toys, action figures, stuff like that, be prepared for the research that it requires. Because it's not just you're going to buy a bag of action figures, you're going to know who it is, but it's worth it because I've sold some action figures for over $100 for one figure. Just, and that's it's not the most common thing, but there are those gems out there because moms are throwing away action figures all the time. Like we all know, like a lot of us had our toys thrown away when we were kids. It's still happening. That stuff still happens. Well, make sure you do your research though. Like it's worth the time. You guys will find gems all the time. There's Lego minifigures that are worth a lot of money, but you got to do that research. That's my advice. Definitely if you're going to go into toys, take that time. It's worth it. There's a Facebook group called Action Figure Identification. The Original is what it's called. You can take a picture of an action figure, post it to that group, and within an hour, you'll probably have 10 answers, and people will just, again, this is a compliment to me. There are a bunch of nerds, and to me, nerd is a compliment. So I'm not saying that derogatory. Like there's a bunch of nerds that will just boom, they'll rush in and answer your question and tell you who that's from, what line it's from, what year. They know all of it. So that's a group I use all the time. Everybody's like, "Oh, Jimmy knows a lot about toys." No, I use the resources that are in front of me. Sorry, that was a huge rant, but yeah.
No, but that's the valuable part of this show is the information. So here's another great example. Say you have a WWE action figure. This one will probably sell for $7, $8, $9, $10 range, somewhere around there. Nothing special about it, right? But I stress to everybody when it comes to any action figures, it's not just WWE figures. But if you have like the belt that would have went on an action figure,
yep,
this belt alone will probably sell for $10, $12. This is the vest for back when there was a wrestling group called The Shield. This is like either a Roman Reigns or a Dean Ambrose vest. This will probably sell for $10, $15. And I say that out of experience because me and Jimmy were laughing one day. I listed a Hacksaw Jim Duggan 2x4 that was probably, a 3-inch long prop and a pair of Brutus Beefcake shears. I listed them, didn't know what they were worth, so I just jokingly listed them for $25. I am not lying. They sold within 5 minutes of listing them for $25 for two little accessories. So again, when you talk about, don't get me wrong, I've got a mess full of action figures to list, but 9 times out of 10, it's not just the figure that's worth money. It's those accessories that can get you just as much or more. So
and it's funny that you say that because that group that I'm part of on Facebook, you can put the accessories and these guys are so good. They'll tell you where what accessories. Like you could put a weapon from a G.I. Joe action figure from the 80s on that website, and they'll be like, that is a Storm Shadow, blah, 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 1989, whatever. And they'll tell you exactly who it goes to. And then you can look it up and see how much it's worth by that. Cajun's right, Joey. Like those, and I want to say hi to a couple people. Matt, what's up? Thanks for hanging out with us. I know Matt's always busy. Thank you for hanging out with us, Matt. Love to see you on the show. Brittany Brands, she was on with Nate and Anthony. She got them brands, and she knows a ton about Poshmark. And I know she's willing to help. She's really busy. She's got kids and stuff, but she's got a lot of information. If you have Poshmark questions, that's the person to ask right there. I could just tell by some of her conversations in the chat and what she had to say on the show. If someone could drop a link, if you want to drop a link, Brittany, you can drop it as well. Thank you, Jennifer. I already see it on top of it. Great information from her. Check out her information. I don't know Posh, and I may do it in the future. And she's a person I'm going to watch to learn. Erin, the Best Offer Queen, as well. A couple people I'm watching to learn that. So when I do go there, I'll be ready to rock and roll.
Hey,
okay,
so
what's
Jimmy,
up? Hanging out.
I'm going to show them an example where somebody will put on a piece of paper. And in the meantime, Jimmy, if you want to if you can put the name of that Facebook group So what people will do is this right here. They'll just get a blank piece of paper and they'll write out and number each item, and they'll say, please help identify. And like Jimmy says, it's not an exaggeration. Within an hour, probably at the most, every single action figure or accessory will have the exact figure, model, the whole 9 yards, and that group literally does the legwork for you. It's absolutely awesome and amazing. Jimmy told me about it, and it has made it literally goes from thinking, okay, well, I think this is a blah blah blah, and it's worth $10, and you find out it's actually a $30 action figure. So it helps you to make sure you're listing it as the right item. I can't think of the name of it off of the top of my head, Jimmy. I know you.
Here, I'll screen share. Like I can't really share the link because I got a bookmark. Let me share my screen and I'll show you. I'll show you guys what it looks like on Facebook, and you guys can find it from there. And they ask you a couple questions, and the main thing is it's a very helpful resource. But they make sure you read the guidelines, like Frank, like how he has that paper set up. That's kind of one of their rules. Like, you make sure it's organized. Don't just throw a pile of toys on here and ask, what is this? Give each figure a number, and they'll help. And then say what you want. Like, I know that this is Power Rangers, but I don't know what series it is. So make sure you ask those kind of questions if you go there and ask stuff. Let me share my screen, and I'll show you guys.
Trying to.
Where's it at? Okay, I'll just do the entire screen. Come on.
Yeah, it's not coming up so great, but it's the action figure identification. And then in parentheses, they call it the original. So yeah, like Jimmy said, they're going to kind of vet you a little bit. They're going to want to make sure you're really like a reseller or collector, because they don't just want a bunch of trolls. It's awesome.
It's called Action Figure Identification, the original. So, just look that up. You want to have the original right there. Look them up in groups. They have a couple questions they'll ask you, like, why are you doing this? They don't mind resellers. You can tell them you're a reseller, a collector, whatever you want to tell them. Answer their couple questions. Really awesome people. Just like I said, obviously with any group, be respectful in there. They're really helpful, but you don't want to go in there and start any kind of. And I know none of you will, but I'm just saying, be respectful and kind of go by their guidelines, like putting stuff in the numbers, like Frank showed you and stuff like that. And it's awesome. Like, they're quick, guys. They're really quick at answering those questions. I bought all those Predator figures, and I didn't know the name of each of those Predator figures. Within 10 minutes of putting that picture up of those Predator figures, I had the name for every single one, what series, what year. Like, it was crazy. So yeah, those kind of resources are out there. That's kind of stuff that I'm using. So
the nice thing about that is it shortens that learning curve for you. It takes the research out of, because honestly, I mean, I see no fun or ambition in going through 100 action figures if I don't know what they're from. So to be able to have that resource, to be able to
chat real quick. I saw a good question. I'm gated on a lot of stuff, Cajun, and I'm working on getting ungated. I did scan them. Yeah, I'm working on it. That's one of my projects I'm working on, is getting ungated on some stuff on Amazon. So not yet, but it's in the plans.
Was that the group also, Jimmy, where you've actually sold some figures through that group?
No, they don't want you selling on there.
I thought it was.
So if someone direct messages you, it's okay, but do not ever go on there and say, "Hey, this is for sale." Now, you're right, my bad. So I did a picture. Someone identified something for me, and they direct messaged me, "Hey, are you selling these?" Don't ever go on there and say, "Hey, these are for sale." Though that's the quick ticket out of there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is you've been able to actually turn some of those inquiries into sales.
So yeah. That can happen every once in a while. Again, it was just some guy that happened to need the weapon that I was asking about, and I sold him a weapon through direct messages, not not I was not going on there promoting us selling at all.
Which,
Yeah,
which is a good though, again, because it's a way to gain a little bit of profit because you're not having to go through eBay, list, and all that stuff, and you might be able to unintentionally flip some inventory that you have just by not listing it but posting it to that site to try to identify it. So
what's up, Brandon? I know Brandon's into those toys as well. That guy, watch his show if you want to learn toys. He knows more about toys than I do. I learn as I go. I've been, I with toys. It's like if it's a popular show, like if your kids watched it, but it wasn't like Star Wars, because there's Star Wars is oversaturated. There's some good stuff, some bad stuff. But like Ben 10, like my kids watched Ben 10, so I knew about it. My kids played with Bionicles and Bakugans. That's why I know about those. Look at your kids' toys that they played with. Look them up. If do a Google research. Go if you have kids, or even if you're older and your grandkids. Like I'm telling you, how many yard sales I've been to where the grandparents, their grandkids are just going out of just in high school and they don't come over and play with the toys anymore, and the grandkids are selling off their toys. I've made a killing off of yard sales like that, guys. In particular, the Bionicles that I just bought, like that lady was an older lady. Her grandkids did not come over anymore and play with them. I bought all those Bionicles. Like and it's so like what I'm saying is like go scan if you have kids in your life and they're playing with toys or they don't play with them anymore, or they're still playing with them, you can still not take their toys, but now you know what to look for at yard sales and thrift stores. Like, okay, these PJ Masks are worth money, or like I said, Dino trucks. I've made a killing on Dino trucks. So yeah, it's out there, and that's why I got into toys. Sorry, when we start talking toys, I get a little crazy.
But again, like we've talked about it immensely, talking about like the grab bags. Like here's another example. I don't know if you remember last week when Joey was on our show. I was showing those vintage Seven Dwarfs squeak toys. My brother got those in a grab bag at the thrift store for I think like $3 or something like that. I literally just sold them for $75.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's crazy.
I always preach, think outside the box. Something that you think isn't worth something, look it up anyways, because you never know.
That's one of my number one bolos. I should do, like, I don't want to do a bolo list or whatever. I should, but if you're in the thrift store and you're looking at the grab bags and you see a grab bag full of all the same toys, it better be a really crappy toy for you not to buy that whole bag for $3. Because more than likely, whatever toy it is, you can take that full grab bag, put it on eBay, and at least get $15, $20 for it, if not more, because you have 20 or 30 of them now.
And the good thing about those grab bags, in my opinion, to one, it's partial opinion. Again, two is talking to that girl that I used to work with at the thrift store. She said typically what they'll do is when they'll see like a lot of something that's the same thing, they don't even want to waste the time looking it up to see what it's worth or anything. So they just throw it in a bag, put a $2.99 sticker on it, and put it out on the shelf. So they're not even taking the time to look at those things as much as they should. And I mean, you and I, Jimmy, it's been well documented the scores we've gotten out of them. You found Redline Hot Wheels in those grab bags.
Yeah, I found a $78 single Hot Wheel in one bag. Sold it for $78. Joey, that's a good question. Goodwill has theirs are actually called grab bags, right? It's actually called a grab bag, right? Just go to the toy section and they'll just, instead of selling all these little action figures one at a time, they'll just fill a bag full of toys.
Look at this.
Yeah.
There's a Goodwill grab bag.
And like we have, most every thrift store does it. Like we have a local thrift store called Arc. They do the same thing. It's a bag full of toys. And obviously just make sure, do a little bit of research while you're standing there. But then again, if you see a bag full of the same toys, just, to me, it's like, buy it. Like, if they're all the same line of toys, why not? Like,
so this is a grab bag and it's all full of the Lion King action figures.
And how much did you pay for that bag? I can't see. $2.99. And he's going to make at least $20 off those figures, at least. because you'll put them all in a bundle. Like if there's not a single one in there that's worth $15-$20, take the whole bundle. I mean, you just turn $3 into $20-$30.
Here was another one. This is stuff I still got a list, but what are these guys called, Jimmy?
Are those Bionicles? Let me put you up.
They're Bionicles.
Yeah, they're either Hero Factory or Bionicles. Yeah.
But again, this is another example of the ARC thrift store. Their grab bags just look like this.
Yep. And so another thing, like even if you like Bionicles are so hot right now. Like Brandon's talking about it right now and talking about Bionicles and stuff. And so everybody, you can have Bionicle just pieces like Lego. They're like Legos, right? They're made by Lego, but they're a little bit more valuable than Legos. Like if you have a bundle of Bionicle pieces, it doesn't have to be a complete figure, just a bunch of random pieces.
So here's a guy that's missing an arm. He's not even complete.
Yeah, but so you just take them apart, Frank, and throw them in a bundle of pieces of Bionicles and sell it by the weight, and they're worth more than regular Legos.
Yep. Oh, actually, I think I just found his arm. Look at that.
There you go. And so that guy, you do the Google reverse image scan on him, find out what his name is, or you put him on the IDer, the Facebook group that IDs him. They'll give you his name. They'll even give you his set number, what his set number is. Then you just punch that set number into eBay. You'll find out right away who he is and what he's worth.
Again, here's another example Jimmy's talking about. This was a grab bag my brother picked up full of trolls. Again, I don't know trolls to know what the individual values are on them.
You get $20 for it.
Yeah, $20-$25 for a $3 purchase. I mean, they're so easy to, again, with that, especially with that Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, again, I can't stress enough to join that group, and it will shorten your learning curve on toys.
So I do want to say, make sure you do your research, because there are some toys. So like the oversaturated stuff is harder. Hot Wheels are definitely harder to sell. If someone's trying to sell you a lot of Hot Wheels, just do not spend. Honestly, don't spend more than a nickel each unless you know that there's valuable ones in there, because they are harder to sell. They're going to sit a little bit longer. Unless they're like some kind of special line, like they're NASA, or they have a special theme to them. Like I sold some Hot Wheels that were Star Wars Hot Wheels. Star Wars Hot Wheels are actually really good. So do your research. If it's just a bag of common cars, the thing about them is, Brandon, is they're going to take a long time to sell. You can lot them up and there's money there, but you're going to be sitting on them a while. So some of the oversaturated stuff, that's why I said, look at the stuff that's not super, like everybody knows Hot Wheels. Everybody knows Star Wars. Everybody knows, but not everybody knows what Ben 10 is. Not everybody knows what Bionicles are. That's the kind of stuff that does way better than the mainstream hot stuff. So to answer your question, you could do it. Don't spend a lot per car, and be prepared for them to take a little while to sell. Unless you get them for a penny each, and then you're trying to sell them for a nickel each, then you could maybe sell them faster.
Again, the most important part of it, again, is I'll give you a prime example where I thought I scored a vintage toy, and I thought these things would fly off the shelves. So I'll be right back.
I want to see. I missed what you were talking about, Matt. I'm sorry. What were the Darda? I'm not even sure what that is. Oh, you answering what So, and the Legos are good too. Legos are awesome. I made the mistake of buying a big bag of Legos, and they weren't all Legos. Some of them were cheap Mega Blocks, and even cheaper than Mega Blocks. If you got to make sure they're all stamped Lego if you're selling them as Lego, because you have a high chance for a return if you don't. Okay. The cars that you sold, Matt, I'm gonna have to look that brand up. I have not heard of it. Make sure if you're selling them as if not, call them building blocks, because if you call them Lego and then someone gets them and they're like, these aren't all Legos, a Lego enthusiast is not going to be happy. So,
Yeah, because
but if they are all stamped Lego, there's money there for sure.
yeah, because don't they like you can even if you actually take the time to go through every single Lego,
Yeah.
verify their stamped Lego, put in the description washed. Is that correct, Jimmy? That's the term they use to say that you've verified all the toys are Lego. They say you've washed them or something like
No,
that.
I mean, people actually clean them. They disinfect
Oh,
them.
do they? Okay.
Yeah, so that's another thing. When you buy Legos, highly recommend disinfecting them, cleaning them, and putting that in your description because all your competition are using those terms and they are cleaning them.
So here's a great example of where I thought I was like just this lady obviously was some sort of a collector. She must have had a booth at one point or something, but she had these dolls, and I talked her down on the price from original asking price. But I saw them. I figured as pop culture vintage. They're Vanna White.
Oh, that's cool.
Barbie dolls, and as you could see, I didn't even pay the $4 a piece she was asking for them. These are actually the Aspen, Colorado edition. I bought 4 of them, and they're literally collecting dust. There's no interest in these things.
That's
Probably paid $2 a piece for them. I bought 4 of them, so yeah, I'm out $8. But I thought Wheel of Fortune, pop culture, blah 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 blah. I thought this would sell in a heartbeat. I still have all 4 of them on the shelf.
That's good.
So this is a prime example where I didn't bother looking them up. I thought, give this lady her $8. She's willing to take for all 4 of these and get out of there as fast as I can because I just scored, $200 worth of Barbie, Vanna White Barbies or whatever. Nope.
That's the biggest thing on toys is once you start doing the research, you'll start recognizing stuff you've bought before, and then it paid off. Like I started doing my research. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Look, read my mind. I was gonna ask him. You should put those on Mercari. Those will do better on Mercari, Frank. I sold a Barbie on Mercari last week. And you know who to reach out to about those? Buffalo Picker. That dude sells. That guy is always selling those Barbie dolls, and he knows a lot about them. But Mercari that's the kind of thing I love selling old new toys. Does that make sense? Older, new in the package toys on Mercari. They seem to do really good on there. I mean,
yeah, maybe I will throw these on there because they're not doing anything on eBay. I could tell you that.
I know my brother does not mean this in any kind of bad, but he's right. They would go up in value at that point. Yes, they would.
Probably.
You're 100% they would.
And Joseph, I agree. It's not anything morbid about it, but literally I had a 1980 Kenny Rogers sealed album that I bought at the Ark for $1.
Collecting dust.
The day he died, it sold for $30.
Yeah.
It was the same way with Eddie Money. I had an Eddie Money concert T-shirt. The day he died, that concert T-shirt sold.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the beast. It
is part of this business. It's for sure part of this business. And it's not something like me. There's people that will do it on purpose. Like they'll purposely go out and try to find stuff. It just happened that Frank just happened to have it.
And Brittany, I want to connect with you. I think we're on Insta and Facebook together, but I do want to talk to you because I want to move into the Poshmark side of it with my wife. She has some questions on that. She wants to start doing some women's clothing, so I definitely would like to reach out to you.
Yeah,
as well as Aaron. I know you both.
Like that's why I said she's got a lot of knowledge. Just listening to her this morning, she knows about a lot of the platforms. I'm just starting up Mercari, and I love Mercari. Some of the shipping stuff isn't. There's been some issues. Like I had a person in Alaska buy some, and there was a little issue there. But Mercari's been great for me so far. I only have like 98 listings on there, and I'm getting a couple sales every week, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Do you guys ever see that meme where it's like, we need to figure out how to take care of the earth because we got to leave something for
I'm so bad at this, guys.
Keith Richards and who's the Willie Nelson? We got to leave the planet for them when we all die.
I got it. What's your? No, it's too late now. Show's almost over. I forgot to have the banner scrolling.
Betty
I'm
White,
going
yeah,
to
she's
talk
another
to
one.
Dan in Vegas about. Can you help me with my banner next time, Dan? Thanks. What? Too much fun with those. Betty White's going to live forever, Joseph.
Key lime kisses. What was that? What was that in regards to? Was that for the Lego pieces?
Yeah, yeah. She was talking about her husband. I think she said has a bunch of Legos that he is letting her get rid of. Older Legos. There's people that want those old bricks. Don't leave. Love the show. We've been on almost 2 hours. We'll probably go 2 hours, and then that's going to be after where we cut it off. We got like 20 minutes. Joey, bada, beat. Wow, that was loud.
Yeah, like I said, Barbie has not done well for me on any platform, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Maybe
it's oversaturated. That's why. It's kind of like Hot Wheels.
That's why I have my Harley Barbie on my shelf instead for display instead of for sale, just because she likes to hang out with us while we're listing.
Yeah, I like Monster High dolls better than Barbie.
Yeah, especially when they're the big 18-inch Monster High dolls, folks. I'm telling you,
Bolo.
If you see those, obviously don't pay up too much for them, but we sold.
Don't be like me. I paid up.
In that same day, one guy bought all four of them, flipped probably a $10 purchase into a $200 profit. And then Jimmy, you scored some new in the box ones too, right?
Yeah, I paid up for those, but I've already made my money back, and I still got 2 of them left. I don't like Lala Loopsy anymore, though. I bought a bunch of Lala Loopsy dolls. Good night. I've been listing those. I'll never buy those again.
And you had some that were missing the important accessories on them. So
yes, we're not. It wasn't missing when I bought it, though. That's what's weird.
Yeah, my brother paid $8 for those 4 Monster High figures, and like I said, we flipped them for well over $200 for all 4 of them. Folks, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I drank too much water during the show. I'll be right back.
Frank's brother's got that eye of the tiger. He'd be finding those good. He's got the eye of the tiger. He'd be finding those good finds. $8 for 4 of those large Monster High dolls. Those things sell quick. So I want to see this. So got rid of those all box Lego collection. So he's just wanting to move stuff. Doesn't want to hold on to things. Yeah, Star Wars Legos and there's another one, Joey. Star Wars minifigures can be worth a lot of money in Lego. That's why it's always worth it to look them up. There's a lot of good Star Wars minis. Does anybody have a toy line? Like, Matt brought up a toy line that I had never heard of, those cars. I don't remember where that was at that he mentioned them. He said this about them. Does anybody have a toy line out there that maybe is under the radar for most of us, that we may or may not know about? Mine, the one I always brag on and talk about is Dino Trucks. DINOTRUX. If you guys haven't looked up Dino Trucks, do it. I mean, if you can get them for cheap, I always go by. I always price them by unit. If someone's trying to sell you a big batch of them, have a top dollar your pay per figure. Yeah, I mean, if you can get them for less than $1 each per figure, like if they're selling 100 of them, you can get them for $60. To me, it's a no-brainer. Like, that's something I do all day, because then I'm paying less than $1 per figure, and there might be a couple gems in there. That's kind of how I source when I'm buying lots of toys. Is I look at how much I'm paying per toy. PJ Masks, I've sold. So there was this special line of PJ Masks that came out that had. So the regular size PJ Masks, and then there was 3 little purple guys that were stackable that came in this set. Well, if you ever see those 3 little stackable like ninja PJ Masks guys, those 3 little guys are worth money, like compared to the regular PJ Masks guys. So I'm always looking at PJ Masks toys, and if I find I don't know their names, but there's three little ninja guys that are smaller than the normal figures that you can stack on top of each other. See, look, Brittany knows Ninjalinos. Yeah, I think she's right. So and they stack up on top of each other. Those are worth more than the regular figures, and they're so much smaller. So it's just research. I didn't know that, but then I looked it up. I was because I'm a nerd. I do my research. Like I'll just go in there and I'll type in PJ Mask in eBay, and then I'll look at the solds, and then I'll see highest price, and then I look at the lots to see what lots are going for, but then I get past the lots, and I start looking at what individual PJ Mask toys sold for the most, so I know what to look for when I'm out there shopping. Micro Machines, yep. You know what's another one? And I think thank you guys for so much for sorry, I'm gonna catch up because these guys are. My brother said Silverhawks. Your boys Dino Trucks. You guys go look at solds on Dino Trucks. I'm telling you, that's how I found out about it. You wouldn't believe some of the solds on one Dino Truck. I sold one for $60.
And I walked right past it. Remember, or not that particular one, but I've walked past some of those Dino Trucks, and Jimmy's like, boom.
Well, yeah, we got to talk about this. Aaron, speaking of Dino Trucks, we're going to have Dino Offer Queen. You guys make sure you check that out. Aaron, she hit 500 subs. Congratulations, Aaron. You deserve it. You're just an awesome person. She's been supporting me and Frank since the beginning. Make sure you guys go check out her because it's going to be funny, y'all. She's going to it's not a spoiler. We all know she's going to dress up as a dang dinosaur. And I'm hoping, I know this is mean, but for my comic relief, I'm hoping maybe she'll be trying to run and maybe she can't keep up with her and starts to fall. Maybe maybe trips or something. I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm sorry. But I think it might be a little bit funny if you're in a blown up T-Rex suit and you faceplant. I'm just saying.
3 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, guys. Make sure you guys watch that.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And just D&D stuff is real. Yeah, the newer stuff does really good, Joseph. I've had some, and the books and the manuals. I know Frank made a killing, and I made a killing. I don't know a lot about D&D, but the books definitely do well. And some of the figures, I have some old figures that I've had listed for a while that haven't sold, but some of the newer stuff does really good. Oh, you got a video coming out too, Matt? All right. You're not sure when? Okay. Hey. Well, I should be rooting for someone else to fall. I've fallen plenty of times in my life.
Small Soldiers, they made a movie, right? I haven't seen any of those out in the wild.
Well, was this a typo? I'm not sure what you're talking. I haven't seen Jimmy enter in. Huh? Well, I don't do type.
I think your microphone's not working.
It's like we're ordering at Jack in the Box.
Right? What?
I don't, Jimmy. See, that's why Erin's awesome. Because I know she's laughing her butt off right now. She's laughing.
She stutters when she types.
she's just gonna. I don't do type. Yeah, for sure, Petey. Anime stuff is always. I got some. Why my chat is so far behind, y'all? I've just got this popping. Or did you say that twice, Joseph? Yeah, he did say it twice. I'm not putting that on the screen, man. I'm not putting it on the screen. Oh, man. She's. Oh my gosh, too funny.
Oh,
I knew she was laughing. I knew she was laughing. What were we talking about? That chat distracted me.
Gary kind of tried to go off.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you kids and your
You kids and your toys.
Fogelberg music and your. But yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons stuff though. Seriously though, if you can find some of that older stuff, like I said, the manuals are what I've made a killing on honestly. And it's
Well,
crazy because I've bought like it's just like a 2-page fold out something or other for the game, and literally I think I got like 80 or 90 bucks for it. I mean,
right.
it's
Another along the same lines is a Warhammer 40K. Those little figures are worth gold. Those are gold. Now the problem is they're hard to find. Like not many people that have them are willing to give them away for cheap. Most people know what they're worth. That's a good one, Aaron. Furbies are. If you guys can find an old Furby, even Frank has a story on Furbies.
but real quick back to those Warhammer figures. Is there any more or less desirability, if that's a word, whether they're
There is, but I
older?
don't know. Tommy at PokeWorld, we might have to have him on about those. He knows a lot more about that. Like there's plastic one, there's metal ones. The older ones are metal. The new, and obviously like there's like generals, like certain generals, leaders of the armies. Like that's how nerdy it is. Again, I call that a compliment. Like if you can find a general that leads the army, he's worth a lot compared to the individual little army figures. And then
So
there's vehicles and stuff. They're all worth a lot of money.
yeah, and to piggyback on what Aaron was saying about the Furbies, and then my brother mentions the Furby babies are the ones that we've sold
I've
quite a
done
few
really good
of.
on Furbies themselves, but the Furby babies surprised Frank.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not lying, guys, when I tell you my brother brought these to me and was like, "Hey, I got all these Furbies." They literally sat in a tote for probably 4 months because I was like, "I'm not gonna list these things." I mean, they're just little plush Furby dolls. I mean, they still had the tags on them.
Yeah, they didn't talk or anything.
They
Like
didn't
they,
do nothing. There's nothing animated about them. The eyes don't move, the mouth, nothing. They're just it's a stuffed animal.
yep.
So my death pile was getting low. So I'm like, all right, the heck with it. I'll start listing some of this other stuff just to
They're like
keep stuff
beanie babies, but
fresh.
they're Furby babies. Yeah.
And 35, $40 a piece for them. I mean,
And I'll tell you right now, I've sold those because we've found them at the thrift store multiple times. That's some you can find at the thrift store in those grab bags. I'll say a decent amount. My wife has found 2 different bags of them at different times.
and I'll be honest with you, the reason why I like selling the
Furby
Furby
buddies.
buddies, babies, whatever they're called, is because of the fact that there is no animation to them. You don't have to worry about battery corrosion in the compartment or anything. Because I've sold a few of the regular Furbies, and the buyer messages me, "Oh, the eyes aren't moving perfectly in sync, or the
Right.
mouth isn't." Dan, you're supposed to be at
Dan,
the conference.
what are you doing? You're supposed to be at the eBay Open right now. What are you doing? How's your tat healing?
Ooh, you might want to put some Vaseline on that, Dan. It's starting to look a little infected.
Yeah, you might want to, and watch that tiger. You might want to take that back to Tyson before he knocks you out. I'm just saying. Did you get roofied last night, Dan?
Where's Alan? Where's Alan? And did anybody pull a tooth out last night by chance?
Yeah, I was with Frank's brother when we went to that epic estate sale. He found some sealed Pokemon cards there. He made a killing off that stuff. Yep, I remember that. Pokemon stuff. Pokemon is great too. Cards require a lot of research though. If you're gonna go into cards, I did buy, and I'm glad I did, but it's a lot of research required if you don't know about cards, because it's like baseball and football cards in the '90s. There's a lot that are not valuable at all, but there's some that are very valuable.
Yeah,
Really valuable.
there's even a guy on our Facebook marketplace. I'm sure you've seen the ad, Jimmy, where the guy literally has a picture of probably, I'm not exaggerating, 50,000 Pokemon cards.
Yep.
And he's selling them and he even has them listed as just commons.
Yep.
And it's like
That's the problem.
100 commons for like $5 or something like that. But I mean, that just goes to show you how oversaturated that brand can be. So don't just, unless you're going to get them cheap, be careful what you're paying for that stuff. Because
Don't say it, Dan. You're gonna make a bunch of resellers cry right now. That's that's terrible. I don't even like. I'm sorry. We gotta have a moment of silence for those Furbies.
right, 10-bell salute.
Oh shoot. You guys, we are approaching 2 hours. I could sit here and talk all day with you guys. I love talking to people in the chat. You guys have so much knowledge, so many good topics. Let's take this last question, and then we're gonna call. If I didn't even read it, you guys know anything about sports cards? What is the best way to learn about those? The best way to learn about those is to talk to this guy right here. And YouTube is a good source. I'm not going to say that I do though. Brandon and Frank, I know he doesn't quite have his finger on the pulse of them anymore either. But I want to have his brother on because his brother knows a lot about sports cards. eBay is a great way. My best advice to you, if you're looking into sports cards, is stay away from the stuff from the 80s and 90s. Not great stuff in those decades. Each card has a card number on the back. Like if you get a Ken Griffey Jr. #1, then you got a good card. But like, let's say you got a card, it's got the guy's name on it and a number on the back. Just put their name in it and then put card number and put that number, and you can find out what that card is worth on eBay. But cards are just, that's a lot of research, and there's people that are trying to hustle people out there, so you can easily get taken advantage of in cards. So it's one that I would say be very careful with, and make sure you do your research and talk to go into a card shop. There's not a lot anymore, but like Frank said, his brother has a friend that owns a card shop, so he can buy, because he has to have a brick and mortar to buy the boxes or whatever from a distributor. So they still do exist, and there are people out there that can, if you make friends with them, they can help you. But it is a very hard industry. Frank, I'll let you give your thoughts on it.
So here's my brief thoughts on it. What I would tell you to be careful is, because I see it all the time in various, reselling groups on Facebook and whatnot, where somebody says they went to a thrift store and they were able to score this box of 5,000 cards for $50. And I have, and I tell them, unfortunately, looking at the cards that you're showing, they're not worth the paper they're printed on.
Yep.
So again, like Jimmy said, stuff from the mid 80s through the mid to late 90s, it is literally a needle in a haystack where you're going to find any card of any value.
Because not only that, because if you find some from that decade, it's going to, and with most cards, they're going to be cherry picked as well. Sports cards are always, for the most part, cherry picked. That means they took the best ones out. So,
and here's the unfortunate part. So back when Jimmy and I, mid 80s, when we started collecting sports cards, everybody had the stories of whether it was their father or grandfather went off to World War II and they collected sports cards, and so when they went off to war, the mom put the cards in a shoebox and threw them in the attic. And then 30 years later, they found the box of cards, and there's a 52 Topps Mickey Mantle card sitting in that box. Unfortunately, now 30 years later, if my mom were to find my shoebox full of cards in the attic, the shoebox is probably worth more than the cards that are in the box. I mean,
because trust me, I have that box from when I was a teenager. I still have it, and I just looked them up the other day. So Frank will know this. David Robinson's rookie card was one of the hot cards it was a hard card to get. It was worth like a decent amount of money when we were kids. It's not even worth the paper it's printed on anymore. And David Robinson rookie was a sought after card when we were growing up. I have one, and I'm like, oh, cool, I got a David Robinson rookie. It ain't worth nothing. It's worth like $2. I'm like, what?
And on top of it, he's literally one of the greatest big men ever in NBA history, and his rookie card's not worth anything. So the card industry changed dramatically, And my brother can attest to it. Anthony's done countless videos. Now you're better off trying to find the desirable cards packs that are out now
Yeah.
and playing that game of roulette, and hopefully you find a good insert in those cards.
I know my brother remembers that card, and I know Petey does. Like, that card used to be the most sought after card, like basketball card when I was growing up. Like, everybody wanted that card. It's not worth anything anymore. Like, it's literally not worth anything.
You know, it's so again, don't be tempted by a killer deal on thousands of sports cards for $10, $15, $20, because I'm here to tell you, as Jimmy stated, we can't overstate it enough. I guarantee you they have been picked clean through, and you're going to get a bunch of cards that aren't even worth a penny.
Yeah, that's why I say, like, there's a lot of hustlers out there, like, not the way we use hustle. Like, they're trying to get over on you, and
they're trying to make a few bucks off of somebody that is not knowledgeable enough to know what to buy and what not to buy.
They literally want to dump their garbage in your front yard.
They don't want to have to pay to have that stuff hauled away, so they'll get somebody to pay them to haul it away for them.
Yeah.
So just be careful. Honestly, the card industry in general, whether it's sports cards, Pokemon, WWF or WWE has sports cards out now where they've got cool inserts that can be worth some money. But again, cards are like the stock market. A certain brand or whatever card is hot for the moment,
Yep.
and then it changes overnight.
Yeah, but with that, thank you so much, No Money G, for hanging out with us, and everyone for hanging out with us today. I can't believe we were on the air for 2 hours. We just get going and talking about those good topics. And, you know, we had some fun stories at the beginning of the show. That's just what we love to do. We love to laugh. Hopefully you guys were laughing with us. Just a couple big goofballs that like to have fun on the air, and love everybody that hangs out with us. Love making new friends. So thank you, everyone, so much. Frank, you got any closing words?
Just a couple quick things. Remember, folks, on my show tomorrow, Kat, the nurse flipper, will be our special guest, so make sure to tune in for that.
Yep.
We're excited to have her on the show. And then we are not having open mic Friday on your channel, correct, Jimmy?
Right. Yep. We are going to have another guest on Friday. I'm sorry. Where's... So I want to talk about Aaron. Don't forget, will you, Aaron, go over what Aaron's doing later real quick?
Yeah, so Aaron, we're so happy and proud for you, Aaron. You hit that 500 sub mark. You have a premiere coming up at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. She is going to be dressed up in her T-Rex outfit. You have to comment on the video. Not the live chat, but in the comments.
I'm getting that.
To be eligible
sorry, guys,
for a gift card giveaway she's going to do in a future video. Is this all correct, Aaron? I'm correct in saying all this?
I don't know if this works. Can I put the link right here and it'll go to the... There's the link to her premiere or her live.
So
I want to get that out there.
Check that show out. It's going to be a great time. You'll have the comment on the video, so that way you'll be eligible to win the gift card she's giving away. Again, we don't do this without all of you guys watching and listening to us, enjoying our conversation and talk.
And then Friday we'll have Flip Finds Fun. He's a friend of... I actually found him through watching Joey Bada Bing's show. He's a friend of Joey Bada Bing's. His name is Josh. Flip Finds Fun. He's new to this. We like supporting some of the new people. And I can tell right away this guy is going to be really good at YouTube and reselling, because I've already watched his videos and I've learned stuff watching his videos. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. So he'll be hanging out with us on Friday. Want to show him some love. So again, Kat tomorrow and then Josh on Friday. Sorry.
We have no more to say. We've dialed everything in. Jimmy, great show again. Everybody that was on the chat earlier and still in chat, thank you. We love you guys. We love the support you guys are showing us and the love you're showing us. So enjoy the rest of your day. 2 short hours away, Aaron's live premiere. Check it out, folks. We'll see y'all later.